Hey everyone, and welcome to r/AmITheButthole, the place where we get to judge people absolutely guilt-free because they literally asked us to. Now, I know this is a favourite on this channel, so I don't want to waste any more time, and I will get straight into this first one by user/sweet as sugar cold as. So, I have severe epilepsy and have a service dog, Onyx. Now, Onyx does have time to cuddle and relax and be at rest and just be a dog. But when he's working at keeping me alive. He's saved my life multiple times. Now, my friend has been coming over a lot recently to visit. I love her, but have an issue with her husband. He's one of those types who harbours the belief that having a pee-pee makes him superior to women. He also doesn't believe in invisible disabilities, and because of Onyx, he's never seen me have a seizure. Last week they came over, and her husband was being playful with Onyx, which was fine as he was at rest. A little while later though, the husband began asking if he could dog sit sometime and bring Onyx to their place for a sleepover. I said no, and explained again that Onyx is a service dog and I needed him to, stay alive. Her husband got an attitude and told me Onyx wasn't a machine and I had no right to deprive him of fun. Then he pulled the "I'm a man, so I know more than you" card by explaining that I was wrong and he was right, and I could go one night without Onyx and control my seizures. All this time, my friend sat on the couch, saying nothing. I asked him to leave, and after some huffing and puffing about how rude I am and what happened to manners, and Onyx would have had fun, they both did leave. Now, today, my friend called asking if they could stop by. I explained that I would love to have her over, but her husband was no longer welcome. She got upset and told me that he was just like that, and it was hard to tell sometimes because he'd never seen me have a full-blown seizure. I got kinda mad and sarcastically asked her if I should purposely cause a seizure so her husband was comfortable. She just kept repeating that he meant no harm and wanted Onyx to have fun. I just told her again that she's welcome, but he is not. Am I the butthole? I feel awful and I feel like I'm creating an issue, but the man is just toxic energy, and I worry that his disbelief of my needs for a service animal will cause him to do something completely crazy. Well, first of all I want to say, OP, that this is your house, and even this guy wasn't being a massive then you still should have every right to say if he can come or if he can't come. This guy is actively putting your life in danger, so not the butthole, he's totally the butthole. And if you've explained to him the nature of your disability multiple times and he still can't comprehend it, well that's his problem, not yours. And here's the next one by user/throwranlow. I don't like tattoos. Period. My daughter recently got one. She's 18, she can do what she wants. She showed it to me. It's a small one of my name and my wife's name intertwined with her name in some type of heart. I said, and went back to my book. She asked if I like it. I said, of course I don't. Why would you even ask me that? My wife said I could have at least pretended. For what? If you're going to get a tattoo because you like it, not because you think putting my name in it is going to make me approve of it. Alright, now Reddit has overwhelmingly voted you're the butthole OP. I mean, I see where people are coming from. It's easy to just be nice and say, I like the design, but tattoos aren't my thing. You could have been a bit more nicer about it and not so blunt. To me, it's a sort of no buttholes here. As you yourself pointed out, OP, it's your daughter's tattoo, she got it for herself, and I mean, it's up to her if she likes it or not. She knew that you don't like tattoos, so I'm not quite sure what she expected. I mean, I guess the sentiment was nice, that it was a tattoo of your name and your wife's name, intertwined in a pattern. It wouldn't have hurt you to be nice, OP, but also, I can see where you're coming from. Ooh, and here's another one from a disgruntled dad, this one by user/throwraiseg. My youngest daughter is 22. Whenever she calls, she ends her call with, love you, and I say, you too. At our last talk, right when we were about to get off the line, she asked, why don't you ever say I love you back? I told her, because meaningful love is shown through actions. And she said, I want you to say it. And I said, sweetie, you can't force me to say it. Then she said, then I guess I won't talk to you again until you're ready. I thought she was joking, but when I walked in the living room today, my wife was on the phone with her, and she said, wait hun, your dad just walked in. And she said that she didn't want to talk to me unless I said I loved her. Nobody on my side of the family says I love you. My parents never said it to my siblings and I. My biological uncles and aunts don't say it. And my grandparents don't say it. They would say things like, I'm proud of you, you make me so happy, I'm so glad you're my child, I don't know what I would do without you, and so on. All things I've told my children growing up. We believe that love is given and shown through actions. So I get awkward when my girlfriends would say it and expect me to say it back. I never did. I never said I love you to my wife or any of my 4 daughters and 3 sons or anybody in my whole life. But what I think it is that my older children grew up when a lot of my side of the family were still alive, so they understood where I got it from. My youngest daughter mostly grew up around my wife's side of the family, who says I love you all the time. Still, some people might say, oh, just say it won't cost you anything, but to me, it will. It's cheap to say. By saying it, it would feel to me that all the love I've shown to her through my actions over the years were meaningless. Look, another slightly unconventional one, and that's what drew me to it. I mean, I guess OP points it out himself. It won't kill him to say it. He argues that it would devalue all the actions that he has done so far, but I think, if anything, coming from him, it would be one of the most powerful things he could say to his wife or any of his kids. Now, I do understand the sort of psychological aspect of it. OP's never said it, and it's hard. It would be hard to tell someone you love them if you've never done it before. I'm talking a bit vaguely, but I think you guys know what I mean. Look, honestly, it's not a big enough issue. Let's just move on. You guys, feel free to vote in the comments down below. I can't even be bothered. I don't want this petty issue clogging up my brain. And here's the next one by user/throwaway495381. Okay, so here's some backstory. When our kids were 3 months old, my son, and 6-month-old, her daughter. We met, and a month or 2 later, we started dating, and in the following year, we got married. My late wife died in childbirth, and her ex is no longer in the picture. Okay, so earlier today, my wife and I, 54 male and 52 female, were discussing our kids' college fund. We have about 50k saved up for each of them, or so I thought. While we were discussing separate college funds from the grandparents and other relatives, she brought up the fact that she had another college fund for her daughter with about 30k in it. Well, I was shocked to say the least. Just to add, she has a job and makes a small amount, and we have our own spending money per month that we're allowed to do with as we please. So I guess that's what she got the money from. I told her, how come? And she said that since it's her biological daughter, she decided she wanted to save up money for her. To me, that's entirely unfair. I thought she loved my son as her own and valued them equally, as she's been in his life as a motherly role for about 17 years. I told her that, and she said that it was her money to spend and that I shouldn't be mad. I decided that I was going to stand by it and gave her 2 options. A, keep a fund for her daughter, but use her spending money to make an equal fund for our son. Pretty impossible, but fair in my opinion, which is why I'm giving her the second option. Or B, split the fund. She just huffed at me and went to our room, locked the door, and went to bed. Which leads us to where I am now. So Reddit, am I the butthole? Ooh, and here's actually some information that I think is very important. OP mentions in the comments that of the 100k combined college fund, 92,000 of it was his spending money. So his wife put in 8,000 and stored away 30,000 just for her daughter. Yeah, that really does throw a spanner in the works. I thought I was going to have a complex discussion here, and that's what I was preparing for, but no, I'm saying not the butthole OP. You clearly treated your children equally, you put money aside for them, and treated your wife's biological daughter as your own. Clearly, she did not do the same. And here's an interesting update. Thanks for the advice, I'm going to take 15k from my daughter's main fund and put it into my son's. And then I'll likely break it off with my wife. I know one thing shouldn't cause a divorce, but I can't stay with someone knowing they have favourites. Wow, that escalated quickly, as sometimes happens with Am I the Butthole. Just wow. This is one I did not expect. And here's the next one by user/AmITheA POS throwaway. This is actually an update post. I know I don't normally do this, but this story was really good and caught quite a few people's attention. I'll put a link just in the top right-hand corner right now, and I'll also put it in the video description. But here is the short story. A single dad talked to his daughters about their periods, even though their wife still stayed in contact. Then the situation got a little messy, and basically the dad yelled at his wife with his daughters present. He felt really bad, so he went to r/AmITheButthole. The dad was obviously not the butthole, and the community supported him. Now we have an update. Last weekend, the girls were at their mum's. After she dropped them off Sunday night, my 12-year-old asked to talk to me in private. We went into her room and she showed me 2 recordings she'd taken on her phone. One of my ex trying to convince him I was abusing them, and one of her and her husband arguing how much she was paying in child support. And I'll be honest here, my cousin is a family court lawyer and basically raked her over the coals. It wasn't pretty, but I was still extremely hurt over the affair. I even got alimony. Anyway, my 12-year-old told me she didn't want to go to her mum's anymore. But she said she felt she had to because she's the oldest sibling and it's her job to protect the younger ones. I've always instilled this value into her. I'm an oldest child myself, but seeing this just made me even more upset. Because now it's just another battle she's fighting that she shouldn't be. She's also just started to figure out that her mum cheated, and over the past couple of weeks, she started firing tons of questions at me about the timeline of our relationship I couldn't really answer. And after showing me the recordings, she literally demanded I answer her, yes or no, did her mum cheat on me? It wasn't easy, but I told her the truth, with a promise she wouldn't tell her sisters. As much as it sucks, that's my job, not hers. The way she cried on my shoulder was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever experienced. But she was catching on, and I figured if she's going to find out regardless, it should be in a setting where she's comfortable. After she was done crying, I told her to email me the recording she took, and called my cousin. We just started the paperwork, but my cousin is certain we can get my ex nailed for parental alienation, and since she got a promotion a few months ago, I should be able to renegotiate the child support payments as well. Most importantly, the recording should be enough to give me grounds for supervised visits only, which is what I want. I still want the girls to have a relationship with their mum, especially since the younger two still want to see her. I'm just going to have to make sure I'm present at all times when they're with her. Co-parenting is oodles of fun, kids. NOP also does want to say thank you to everyone who messaged and commented all these supportive things and helped him out. And it's funny because it's not often we get to see nice posts like these ones. Sure, it's not really fitting for the sub, but sometimes it's just nice to get a good post like this thrown into the mix. And guys, I think this post is going to be the last one for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for edit videos every second day. But with that said, that is it for me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later, guys.